Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched 102 Dalmatians.
Who'da thunk it?
I did find out there is an animated sequel to 101 Dalmatians. It's called 101 Dalmatians 2.
101.5 Dalmatians.
I'm glad they went with 102 Dalmatians.
Yeah, definitely. I watched this a bit as a kid, but I clearly did not remember as much. Like, I remember the ending when she gets turned into a cake.
Yep.
I remember that Mr. Fantastic is in it, and I remember that there's a parrot.
Yep.
And that was about it, really. Like, there were a few bits as I was watching that kind of came back to me, but yeah, this was not as good of a rewatch.
This was absolutely a sequel, though.
Oh yeah,
This was the most sequel I think I've ever seen a film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing that they got Glenn Close to do it.
Yeah.
It
Although
has-
it could have been worse, because it turns out, so the guy that wrote the first one didn't return for the sequel, because the movie that he made after he made 101 Dalmatians was such an abysmal failure, and that was Flubber.
Yeah.
So
So they could have flubbed it.
yeah.
Well, it was... Flubber was
Bouncy
such...
dogs.
As we remember from Flubber, it was such a failure that it closed a production company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but rightly so.
A
No,
critical
fair enough.
failure, as it was described. And that one, if anything.
Fair enough. Yeah. So they made this film, and it is.
Yeah, but, like, it's all right.
No, it's
but
not. It was dreadful.
it's so pointless.
I have absolutely no idea what happened, and I still have, like, loathing. Like, I still resented the fact that I had to watch it.
Yeah, this film wasn't as
Because I was
fun
so
as the
excited.
first
I thought
one.
it was going to be good, because I was so pleasantly surprised with 101 Dalmatians. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, more Glenn Close. And then I was like,
Yeah.
Anita looks different. And then I realised it's not Anita.
Yeah, it's not Anita and it's not Roger.
It's
and
never
the
a good
only-
sign when the cast doesn't come back.
No. And the only other character that came back, I mean, there's Cruella and there's
Alonso.
the assistant Alonso. And then there's Dipstick, which...
Yeah,
What does that imply happened in between the movies? Because Dipstick was one of the original children of...
yeah, they sold the
Pongo and
puppies
Purdy.
again. They have like 1,000 of them.
They must have just sold loads and, like, maybe
Yeah.
it would have been like, oh, this is Anita's sister or something.
Yeah.
And,
That might have been like a deleted scene.
yeah,
Like, it
maybe.
might have
Maybe
been.
they just drew the line at, 1,000 puppies, and they're like, right, we've got to start shifting
Gotta start getting rid of them.
We've got a one in, one out policy from now on.
Well, they needed like an actual connection between this film and the first one that isn't just Cruella de Vil's in it. So I guess Dipstick is the right way to go.
Dipstick sort of
Name
makes sense.
recognition.
Yeah. Hey, remember that dog
Remember that
from
one
the
dog
first
from the
one?
first one? Dipstick? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's the one we picked. However,
Um,
Glenn Close is in this, and Glenn Close is amazing in it.
Yeah. She starts
That's
off
the
as...
problem, though, that she's given a shit script.
She is. But she's
Sorry.
given it. Helen's got hiccups.
I'm not editing these out.
That's your job.
It's going to make the episode better. The film sucked.
But, so, yeah. So
it
she's
makes me
given-
so angry.
She,
She did such an amazing job in the first one that with a decent
Yeah.
script, it would have been phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah. It would have been so good.
But my god, is she trying? She's trying
Yeah.
to make it good. She's doing
Yeah.
what... Yeah, she's trying so fucking hard.
That's the
Because
issue, because then it becomes, when she was like amazingly dramatic in the first film, she's it's a bit too much in this film because no one's matching the energy.
Yeah, she's...
Yeah,
I mean, no
everyone's
one
too-
matched her energy in the first one, but the script supported it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The script isn't supporting it, so she's just kind of chewing the scenery.
Yeah. This one's just like, oh, Cruella's cured and she loves Dalmatians now. She was cured by Pavlov.
Yeah, Dr. Pavlov.
Dr. Pavlov, which makes sense. Do you think
Yeah.
every time he heard a bell, he thought about feeding his dog?
Yes. There's a name for that psychological thing. Can't remember what it is. But there's an actual name for like when
what,
you
a
train
Pavlovian response.
No,
That's
when
foreshadowing.
you condition someone that
Yeah.
it actually affects you. If you condition something, an animal or something, you're also conditioning yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
There's I forgot what it's called, but there is like a thing. But yeah, the doctor's called Dr. Pavlov because obviously.
Yeah. Alonso has a much bigger role in this one, which is why I recognised him in the first one, and then was like, oh, that's weird. He's not doing much.
Not in that much. Well, he replaces Hugh Laurie, and he replaces the dog nappers, really.
Yeah, he replaces them. You get a guy who replaces Skinner, which is Lepelt, which is
great
a
name.
French.
I mean, he should have. If this was the same story, but they'd written it better, he would have been a great character.
Yeah,
because he has these I mean, the one scene I enjoyed was the fashion, like introducing Lepelt, because he's fun. It's the same like great costume stuff.
Oh,
but
this film was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Costume. It was panned everywhere else. It was nominated for an Academy Award for costume because
the costumes were great,
fucking amazing. You can't make a Cruella de Vil film without amazing costumes.
No,
you just can't.
But then you get all the other characters, which there's
bland as fuck.
There's Chloe,
Chloe
the probation
officer. Mr. Fantastic, the guy who owns
he runs a dog shelter for reformed criminals.
Yeah, second chance.
Bit niche.
His friend who feels like a character from EastEnders.
Yeah.
I do like the parrot, voiced by Eric Idle. He's alright.
There's place for a second chance. They gave the dogs way more personality.
Yeah, the dogs have a lot of personality, and there's a macaw who believes he's a Rottweiler.
Yeah, great.
So he won't fly or anything because he's like, no, I'm a dog. I belong here.
You'd think would get annoying, and like I know this sounds sarcastic, but it doesn't get annoying. Weirdly, everything else in the film does, but like that joke doesn't.
Yeah, the parrot is good comedy, and that's why I remembered the parrot.
The parrot, by the way, the only thing with fucking character development.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, because it doesn't really take. Shockingly, it doesn't take long for Cruella to slip out into her old ways.
Yeah, so she comes out of prison reformed.
She hates the furs, so she hides them away in the secret cave in her mansion, which is full of weird artifacts. There's like a Greek pillar and all sorts of weird things in there.
Yeah.
And isn't it set up so that if she breaks bail, if she's recalled to prison, breaks the terms of her parole, her release,
all of her money goes to £8 million.
Yeah.
Goes to local dog charities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the judge says, and this was like genuinely something I could hear a judge saying. He says like, oh, and then your money will be going to the dogs.
Yeah.
I could
and
see.
he's like, I'm the judge, and you can't say anything about that joke, or else I'll put you in contempt.
I can fully see a judge saying that.
Gabble on that, gabble, gabble.
Yeah.
Gabble.
So, which is an attempt at like a smart stair setup.
Yeah. It starts with her actually being nice, and she helps out second chance.
Because the therapy worked.
Yeah, until the Big Ben chime goes off, which, would you believe it, but the probation officer's office is right next to Big Ben.
God, there's a lot of foreshadowing, like the first 5 minutes of this film.
Yeah.
But they reveal it like super quickly.
Yeah.
No,
and then it happens like immediately after, but it happens for a cute way because Dipstick and his dog partner have little puppies, and one of them's called Oddball because she doesn't have spots.
Yeah.
And she's obsessed with getting spots, and so the reason that she ends up nearly falling out of a window is because she rolls in printer ink to try and get spots.
Yeah.
And then ends up flying out a window, and then the building starts falling apart, and she's holding onto it.
Yeah,
very odd.
That's just New York.
Yeah,
this is what it's like.
London.
Yeah, I was about to say hold on, I know I wasn't paying that much attention, but I thought I had the city right.
Yeah,
I really struggled with this film. It just felt like a slog. Anytime it wasn't animals, which was unfortunately quite a lot of this film, tuned out, didn't care.
Yeah, a lot of the characters they don't have the interest. It explains why. The main bit I remember is right at the end of the film with the puppies escaping and her being made into a big cake.
Right. yeah, we can't talk about this film. It's so bland and so like meh. How do we fix it? Let's go this route. How do we do 102 Dalmatians after 101 Dalmatians, because they're not canonical with each other, because if you own a second chance dog place that's out of money, you go to the couple that has 1,000 Dalmatians in a mansion. They'll probably give you some money to help a dog shelter. They seem pretty dog friendly. So we're going to assume it's not canon.
Yeah. Adopt one dog, get a Dalmatian for free.
Yeah. So
brilliant. The shelters would be empty. And then probably filled with Dalmatians. But anyway, solve one problem.
More Dalmatians. This is exactly what the animal rights activists for the first one were worried about. So how do we fix it? How do we do it?
Just having the original, like the characters from the first one back instead of...
Okay, no, but let's say the actors aren't coming back. We have to do this film. We've got to do it. We're fixing 102 Dalmatians because it's not a good film.
We're spaying it.
First of all, Cruella de Vil. Would it be better if she was not cured, but she was pretending?
Oh, definitely.
Right? More evil, more cunning, more Cruella de Vil, like actual
Yeah, because she's
evil.
not an idiot. Like, she has built this fashion empire.
Yeah.
Gets out on some sort of parole because it's like, she didn't actually kill any dogs. It was like, you know, yes, she's had fur and stuff, but they're like, oh, there's not as many laws that she's actually broken.
No, she did break a lot of laws.
Yeah, she definitely did. Yeah,
she definitely broke a lot of laws. Yeah,
quite a lot.
Quite a lot of laws.
Yeah, her pretending to actually love dogs, like convincing enough to get out on those terms would have been much better. And instead of the whole setup of some weird site, like
it just felt weird.
Have someone just experiment on. You would have people experiment on prisoners. Actually, that is absolutely something that would happen.
It has happened.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to happen at the moment.
But yeah, like that alone would help.
Maybe her motivation this time is she's got to get her money back. Maybe she's got to doom the shelter so that she can secure her money by getting rid of like the dog shelter that the money's supposed to go to, by maybe getting all the dogs adopted, or just having her still be evil but having to do something wholesome to like benefit herself.
Yeah. We just need to get the Dalmatians.
And then her arc could be that she does actually get slightly softened, and then at the end when she has the opportunity to give it all up, she doesn't. Or it could go the same way as the first one, where it's like, no, she's evil and she gets put back in the sin bin.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been a much more interesting kind of, character arc if towards the end it was like, no, she genuinely is starting to give a shit about these dogs.
Yeah, maybe she's planning like, the finishing touches for this dress, and she's like, she's had this dog that she's been like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to kill I wouldn't skin any of them except for, and then like there's one dog that's got like a beautiful, maybe like, I don't know, heart-shaped spots or something, you know, a bit bizarre. And she's like, and there'll be the finishing touches on like the bows on her shoes or the cuffs on her dress that she's designing for something.
Well, I mean, that's what you have Oddball for. You have Oddball be like the dog that she's like, actually dogs aren't so bad because she can't skin Oddball. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
There's no spots. Maybe, so that could be where Lapelt comes in. If Lapelt is a bit more, like, dark villain.
Yeah, I mean, he runs a sweatshop, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like make him more dark villain. Make him, like, if we want Cruella de Vil to be a bit softer by the end of it, make him be a bit more extreme and make him the kooky villain.
Yeah.
Where he's
maybe he wants to skin kids, because that was the one thing that Cruella did say she didn't want to do in the first one.
That's a bit far. But, I mean, you could have him be like, she's like, I want Dalmatians because I want to make my dress, and it could just be something she's obsessed with because it is a kid's film. She doesn't need that much, and he could be like, and she gets them, and then she sees Oddball and is like, well, we don't have to skin this one.
Yeah, because I think like the puppies have a bit of revenge in the first film. We see them fighting back after they've getting captured, but maybe it would be more fun to have in this one cat and mouse, kind of like them trying, like Lapelt trying to get all these puppies together to deliver to her, and maybe he eventually does get some, but then she can't bring herself to actually kill them to make her coat.
Well, but that
because she spent that much time at the
maybe she said
second chance.
She's been trying to lure them in with Oddball, like maybe they've been using Oddball as bait.
Yeah,
and they're trying to get her to come, getting the puppies to come and like get they're trying to, and then she
Or
ends
like-
up falling for Oddball and then realizes she can't call Oddball, she can't kill any of them else. And then she goes
Yeah.
vegan.
Well, I think like if you get Oddball in, if you get like Oddball is just with the other dogs when they get kidnapped, and she's like, yeah, no, turn them all into pelts and whatever, and turn them into the outfit, except this one because there's no need to. Except Oddball because there's no need to. He's got no spots. And the pelt's like, yeah, but kill him anyway and skin him anyway. And she's like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You don't want to do it just for no reason. You want to do it because of the skin. He's like, no, I don't care.
I just like killing puppies.
I just want, yeah, but we could use it for something else. And she could be like, no. And that's how she sort of bonds with Oddball. And then bonding with Oddball is what sort of allows her to bond with...
Or she could like maybe she tries to kick Oddball out while the puppies are, and like he won't leave because he knows the puppies are still there, or he's like looking through the window and she looks away and she's like, no, leave me alone. And she's like, and then it's raining and he's out there, and then it's snowing and he's out there, and she's like, fine, come in, get warm. And then she starts scritching him, and
she's like hiding him from Lepelt because Lepelt is like, if Lepelt finds him, he'll be skinned. And so she's like hiding him.
And then maybe she has to like, then she decides to go on the rescue mission with Oddball, and they have to rescue the
Cruella
puppies.
helping rescue the puppies would have been like quite a fun bit.
Yeah,
because she's crazy. She can match his crazy, but in a like, I'm gonna get these puppies back no matter what kind of way.
Yeah. Oh, a fight between those two would have been at like peak crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially with his hair. Like,
yeah, it would have been amazing.
Few hairdos where you can get electrocuted in the testicles and your hair just not change.
Yeah, that would have been a great joke though. But yeah, I love that idea of like her being the one that rescues the dogs, and that could be like at the end at some point she could get arrested for like stealing dogs again, and she's like, actually no, this time I was actually helping.
Yeah, she was rescuing them, like how.
And then she's back in prison, and she's sat there just bemoaning her ill fortune because she was like, well, I was trying to save it, and then you just hear like some scraping sounds, and the dogs have Great Escape style dug her out, like dug a hole for her to escape from prison.
The dogs help Cruella.
And then it's 103 Dalmatians, Cruella on the run.
Yeah. But you could fully have like a little bit of redemption for her, even if she isn't like, because at no point Cruella's too proud. At no point would she be like, I actually care about these dogs. She'd find like some other way to rationalize her not killing the dogs.
Yeah.
She'd be like our spots so last season.
I couldn't possibly, when Lapelt's like, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you want this Dalmatian coat? She's like, yes, Dalmatian spots are so last season. I couldn't possibly risk you making something like that because your fashion empire would fall.
Yeah, that could be how she starts, and then she.
And then he's like, "Well, I've got them here. Let's kill the puppies anyway. I can dye the fur." And she's like, "Dyed fur? No, I know you're evil.
Fur? They'll ruin it. The whole reason you use puppies is because they're soft. Slap. Be great."
Just slaps him with a puppy.
Yeah, with Oddball. But the dogs doing that like what happened in the first one, where the dogs are like more aware than they should be, just watching them kind of confused about who to help.
Oh, some bad dogs. Like if Lepelt had like a bad dog that's like constantly trying to grasp them up or catch them or growling at them as well would be good too.
Yeah, and soften that dog up a bit too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like a dog in fantastic fashion outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't give Fluffy a coat in this, actually, considering Fluffy has no hair.
Yeah. Oh man,
that would it could have been.
I like
what could have been?
In our version of it as well, we're just focusing on Cruella and not.
Well, I
not
was going to mention the
movie.
other two because there are like the couple who could be involved again. Like,
there's just absolutely nothing to Anita or the other dude.
No, it's a Cruella film.
Yeah,
mainly because Glenn Close is carrying this film.
Absolutely,
yeah. She's trying to. I don't know.
The guy that plays Lepelt is probably like the closest to her kind of energy, and even then, he's
nowhere near it. I think,
and it's difficult because then the characters you're supposed to be following, like the dogs, still have more personality.
They're so bland. And again, you could still have the moment of the parrot flying and realizing he's not. Again, great joke. He's not a What was it? He's not a pit bull.
Oh, no. He's like, I'm not a Rottweiler. I'm a retriever.
I'm a retriever. Amazing. You can still have all of the good jokes. It's just, I think I like the bit where I love that he's an ex-con because he stole puppies from like an experimental laboratory.
Yeah, he was rescuing like how Cruella should have done at the end.
Yeah, but like that would have been a great parallel.
Yeah.
Because then, it would have been... Actually, no, it would have been great if she had this redemption arc, because you could have her being sent to prison, and him being like, yeah, but she deserves a second chance. Like,
yeah.
Actually, no, this time we think she is reformed, and she is better, because she did save the dogs.
Yeah.
And the dogs like her. Yeah, and then just have the new character be Anita's sister or something.
Yeah, Chloe.
Yeah.
Is her name.
You don't care.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, this film was such a disappointment. I was so ready for another little dog-themed romp, and instead, I just didn't care. Like nothing about it gripped me. Like Oddball was cute, but it wasn't a big enough part of the story for me to really give a shit.
No,
and they end up in Paris at the end, and
yeah, because he's taking them on the Orient Express,
which doesn't go from London to Paris, but
no, I was thinking like, does that go through the Eurotunnel? Like,
yeah, was that had Eurostar been built? Actually,
know,
maybe Orient Express did go London to Paris or something.
That's a steam train though. Like that tunnel would be just full of smoke.
It'd be awful.
Yeah, smell worse than the 1,000 Dalmatian house.
Yeah, to be fair, there is no house in this place that'll stink. The only thing that'll stink is the rescue place, but they all do. It's fine.
Yeah, and briefly so the bit at the end where they're in the cake factory, right?
Yeah.
That clearly looks like a rundown, abandoned cake factory. Like they're going in through like just a hole.
Yeah.
In the roof.
Yeah.
And yet at the end, when Cruella's been made into a cake, she just flies out into like a full-on like little cafe.
Yeah.
Like surely they'd have heard.
They just don't look after their back room that well.
No, surely they'd have heard the cake making stuff going off and all the dogs and everything. Like.
Also, that is not how you make a wedding cake.
What, you mean you don't put a person in it?
No, as in like you don't use a big mould.
No.
And then cook it all as one big shape. You make 3 different cakes.
Layers.
because like if you do it that way, number one, it'll be awful to eat because it's just solid cake.
Yeah.
Like cakes are only like nice because they have layers of stuff in between them, so they don't just taste like dry sugar dirt. But also, like, if you cook it, like, if you bake a cake like that, this is, by the way, the gripe with the movie, because the rest of the movie's so bland. I was like, and they bake a cake.
Bland cake without anything in it.
I can't let it all annoy me, so I'm going to let this one thing really annoy me.
One bit. But if you bake a cake like that, the top will burn because it's thinner, so it'll cook through quicker. And so you either have a burnt top bit or, like, a liquid base.
Oh, liquid base.
It's not how you can bake a cake, and it just annoyed me. That's just wrong.
Yeah,
because I remember it.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that. I wasn't paying attention at this point. I had fully tuned out and was just trying to spot cute dogs.
But it's the same joke as the first one, where it's the same thing as the first one, where she gets covered in something and falls over and then get arrested.
Yeah, and she gets like the bit where she's in the mixer and it's just spinning her around loads was like, like this bit. I must have definitely just caught this end bit on TV several times and enjoy. Like this was easily like the only bit I really remembered is her being made into a giant cake. Yeah,
but that could have easily been lapelled.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the hair for the little fire at the end as well.
It could have just been lapelled, or both of them. Like, they get caught into it together. Like, it could have been good. Nah.
I do like how Alonso defeats Lapelt by sewing him into his own furs.
Yeah. Could have kept that. Could have kept that. Oh, man. Could you imagine? Oh, and then have a scene at the end where they're like, arrest her, but Oddball's, like, being all friendly. And they're like, wait, the dogs aren't afraid of her? Oh, so good. No, we got this shit of a movie.
Yeah, it was a real letdown.
Yeah, and then have the Oddball's got spots in.
But I mean, that's sequels though, isn't it? Like a lot, so often they're disappointing.
I think we've done this for like every sequel for a film we like. We go, well, it's shit.
Except for Charlie's Angels.
Except for Charlie's Angels.
That was just the same.
Great film.
But I think this is one of those ones where it felt so hot, like it's so you feel it so much more acutely because 101 Dalmatians was so good and this was so bad. Whereas, like, I'm not that heartbroken about Tomb Raider 2 being bad because Tomb Raider 1 was fine.
It's bad because they kind of missed everything good about the first one.
Yeah,
like all the good stuff about the first one isn't in the second one. The only good thing that's in the first one that is in the second is Glenn Close.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no good beats, there's no good story, there's no good like heartfelt moments other than Oddball's got spots.
Yeah, which is
right
it's I don't know, weird puberty metaphor that I don't really care for.
Yeah,
and a parrot flying.
Yeah.
One bit that I did find cute was when Oddball starts the little Twilight bark thing, and it's all puppies doing it.
Yeah.
And there was a real sweet little puppy on a boat, and he presses the little button. He's like, "Woof."
Okay, that bit was cute.
Yeah, that was really
You
cute.
can keep all of that with our version.
Yeah. We'll keep the good bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I'm going to rate, I'm going to have to give this 100 and actually only 2 Dalmatians out of 10. Gets 2 points for, like, Glenn Close and the outfits.
Yeah.
But everything else was just, I remember so little of this film, and I watched it yesterday.
Oh, I watched it 3 hours ago. Like,
well, some of us have work.
No, but like I watched it 3 hours ago and I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I was just thinking, actually, it's kind of funny how we'll keep some bits in our version, just like we're skinning the movie and keeping the bits we want.
Yeah, just the fur.
Keep the spots.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I enjoyed a good bit of this, but it's definitely sort of held up by the nostalgia.
100%.
Like, yeah,
This film
like
doesn't
the bits I
hold up.
remembered and the bits I enjoyed were good, but the rest of it was just
Yeah,
a bit drab.
watch the first one, the first live action, and then just watch the animated films. What you know what? Watch Lady and the Tramp. It's a better movie.
Yeah, watch Lady and the Tramp just like they do in this movie.
Yeah, better movie.
Yeah, I'd probably give this 4 tiny puppies using a boat. The cutest bit in the whole film.
Yeah, it's got 31 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's not good.
Definitely did not do well.
Yeah, I think for me it would be like a 3 times again. Glenn Close tries really fucking hard to save this script.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
She's great. She's great in everything. She's also like dedicated to doing another Cruella de Vil movie.
Oh yeah, like the Cruella.
Oh well, yeah, Cruella is
Stone.
definitely coming out. Like Cruella.
Yeah.
Next gen.
Cruella 2.
No,
this
she
time
as
it's
in
Glenn
like
Close again.
she wants to be Cruella de Vil again. She wants
I meant
to
next
set
gen
the film.
kids wise, not Glenn's not as in Cruella de Vil being Emma Stone again, as in Glenn Close coming back.
Yeah.
For these
Glenn
kids.
Close comes back for a movie which canonically happens after 102 Dalmatians, but with the Emma Stone prequel also being canon as well.
I think so. I think that's genuinely what they want to do.
I haven't seen Cruella yet.
It's quite good.
It's really good, but there is that very odd bit where her parents are killed by Dalmatians.
Yep.
Huh.
Which is weird after watching the first one and being like, she wants the Dalmatians because she wants a spotty coat. It has nothing to do with like family trauma.
That is, yeah.
Changed my mind. I'm giving this 4 hiccups that Helena does per sentence.
It makes sense in Cruella, though. Like, that motivation makes sense in the film Cruella.
Yeah. Like, Cruella's really good. I recommend watching that. It is better than 102.
Yeah.
By far.
Easily.
Far.
Well,
But
let's hope that the remake is better. Or do you think they just remake 101 Dalmatians again?
No, apparently she wants to do like a different, like an evolved version.
Cool. Well, I hope they soften Glenn, let Glenn Close try and be nice for a bit.
Just do like a The Force Awakens where it's basically the same movie.
Well,
do our movie. Do the movie we wrote.
From what I remember reading, by the way, apparently she wants it to be sort of The Godfather inspired. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for a Cruella de Vil film, but she wants it to be Godfather.
Just full on about the fashion empire.
Yeah, you come to me on the day of my 15th fashion show.
The day of my summer.
The day of my dog's quinceañera.
This is definitely the same universe as Zoolander, right? For like all the weird fashion shit.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Zoolander wouldn't survive meeting a Cruella de Vil.
No. Zoolander, but instead of it being Will Ferrell, it's Cruella de Vil.
Completely different film. She's called Killing Dogs.
Yeah.
He runs into a back room, she's skinning dogs.
Every time they play Relax, Don't Do It by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Ben Stiller wants to skin a fuckload of Dalmatians.
Yeah, he wouldn't, like, as a character, wouldn't be able to handle that much unhinged madness in a character. Oh, man. I'd watch that. I'd watch Glenn Close's Cruella de Vil in Zoolander. Why are we brainwashing him? You just need him to skin dogs.
Oh.
Should probably end the episode, shouldn't we?
Wrap it up. It's your job.
Yeah. We've only been recording for half an hour. It feels weird doing a short episode.
It can be a short episode.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah.
I've been hiccuping the whole time.
It's been like half an hour of hiccups. I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
I've been Helena.
Did you have to wait till after you hiccup?
Maybe.
Well, you can find this podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord as well, so you can come and help us fix 102 Dalmatians. Which, we also have a Patreon, so you can hop on and support the show. I mean, this is our 102nd episode, so we definitely appreciate all the support that everyone's given so far. But what are we going to be doing that's special for the Patreon this week?
We're going to make our version of 102 Dalmatians. That's all we're going to do. We're making a better 102 Dalmatians. Putting the money into that. You've already heard the pitch.
We'll fund it ourselves. We're not even going to send the pitch to anyone.
No,
the pitch is...
We've already got Glenn Close on board.
Yeah, like, as soon as we make it, all we have to do is phone Mickey Mouse and say, hey, put this on Disney+.
I feel like saying the words Cruella de Vil, Glenn Close listens.
We just sing the song.
As soon as she hears the word, because she's involved in every single Cruella de Vil project. She wants to play. Let that woman play Cruella de Vil again.
And if we can't get enough money for the film, then we're going to lobby for Glenn Close to get her film made.
Either our one or her one. Those are the two options.
See, now I'm trying to hiccup for a bit, but it won't happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
Cool. Let's stop recording.
Until there, before you...
I'm not going to stop recording until I've hiccuped. I think our hiccups have gone.